Welcome back to Talking Soccer with Chris and Will. This is Will,
This is Chris.
and we got an exciting episode today talking about LA Galaxy and Orange County Soccer Club, recent run of form, and a little bit about the future here. Like we usually do, though, let's kind of catch up on how we've been. I know it's been a few weeks since we last recorded, right, Chris? I think every time we record, it's something new, so either in your life or my life.
Yeah, it's kind of like a running theme now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when was the last? It's been a couple of weeks, right? Like almost 2 months. So there's a lot to catch up on. A lot of soccer, but yeah, nothing too crazy for me. And just kind of just working. I guess the main thing really is I'll be moving to DC in about a month. So that's a little exciting, a little stressful too. But I guess we'll be kind of half joke pivoting to maybe in the future DC United coverage as well. So, but yeah, some changes coming up for me personally. But good thing there's internet, so we'll just have to coordinate now. Right, so I'll record at 10 p.m. I'm sure. Oh, East Coast time, right?
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited. So, how about you? What's going on? What you been up to?
Big changes for you, man. Well, congrats on that. I know
Yeah,
it was
thanks.
a move for a good reason, right? You didn't just move for fun. There was some positive to that, so
Yeah,
congratulations to that for that. So yeah, I mean, for me, I just been kind of hanging out a little bit, going to the gym a lot recently. Well, since January, but hitting it a little bit harder now. Well, I've been hitting it hard the whole time, but like really hitting the weights hard and cutting and all that hard
oh,
stuff. So
nice. Yeah, it's always. I think that's always important to like focus on your health. So yeah, man.
yeah,
Congrats on keeping steady. Yeah, I need to kind of get back into a routine. Ever since like the wedding, I think it's kind of been like on and off. So, but yeah,
yeah.
man, you're looking good. So yeah, just keep going.
Appreciate
I
it,
guess
man. Thank you.
yeah, it's like just like corny advice, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, just keep it up. I know you used to work out a lot too, so I'm just gonna keep going at it. I remember that you just kept going to the gym for like a while, over a year, and
Hmm.
you started seeing results. So I'm keeping that mentality too. Eventually, I mean, I already see results, but I'm gonna start seeing them, even more and more as time goes on. So just sticking with it. I've been traveling a little bit too. Been going to Mexico a lot, mainly Tijuana, but staying there. Dude, you'll be surprised, man. There's actually, I know you just were in Mexico. I don't know if Melissa's actually would be down to go to Tijuana one day, but you'll be surprised, man. It's gone up certain areas, of course, right? It's a lot fancier, a lot nicer places. It's a lot more developed. I mean, the grocery stores, dude, they're 5 times better than they are here. They're way more advanced. Like it looks more sophisticated. Like almost every superstore has the electronic like label thing. So I mean, just little things like that. But it's cool. And then the nightlife, you know, it's fun.
Yeah,
Food.
it can. I was gonna say it's kind of like the Amazon Prime, or was it Amazon grocery store, sort of? Or
Yeah. A lot of them are like that, and a lot of Mexican products and stuff. So I make sure to bring back whatever I can from
nice.
there. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
haven't, I haven't
that's
gone
been
down
fun.
there I haven't gone down there in years, but yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot. I wonder if there's probably quite a bit of people that like live in Tijuana now, right? And like work on the maybe on the U.S. side. Maybe that might.
Yeah,
I know. I know there's like a lot of like during COVID, a lot of people, Americans, went down to Mexico City to work remotely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
That,
nice, man.
yeah, that definitely catches my eye, honestly, to move down there eventually. But that's a topic for a different day. But yeah, I mean, that for me that'd be cool, especially if I had a remote job. Just living there. I'd love Tijuana. It's a really nice city, and I feel like I know the day to day. I feel like I know the day to day now, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, if you guys ever want to go down there, it'd be fun. But I think before you go down there, I think I'll be probably visiting you in DC when you move, when you make that move to
Oh yeah,
DC.
for
I'll be
sure. Yeah, you would probably like it. Yeah,
all the
I
museum.
don't know if you like museums, but there's plenty of museums, free museums.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the national monuments. Restaurants are great. You love the spots where there's a bunch of restaurants. There's a lot of it's a very active like city. I think it's like the
Mhm.
most fit city, I think, or top three most fit cities like in the whole nation. So there's like trails that you could,
Oh, wow.
walk or run. Yeah, so it's pretty good. I'm hoping, we're gonna get, friggin' tip top shape once we're out there. Yeah, it's like a very active, but yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, hopefully maybe when we're back, maybe we'll make down the trip down to TJ, have some tacos,
Yeah,
have some drinks,
for the day
right?
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
so
How far are you from the White House if you move to DC?
let's see. Maybe I could do it live here. It's probably we're so I was telling you we're going to be in Northern Virginia. It's called Alexandria, but the neighborhood is called Potomac Yards. Um,
Mhm.
and it's like right across. It's on the Virginia side, obviously, right next to the Reagan Airport. The cool thing about DC is their like public transport, they have the metro, right? So it's very like easy to get around. You don't have to uh, in LA, right? So I
Mhm.
think we're probably less than 10 miles away. So it's like
That's
right
cool.
literally right across the river. So yeah, everything's very accessible. We're there. I was there a couple weeks ago with Melissa. She was there for work. So I like spent the week there and working.
Cool.
And yeah, so and yeah, you take the metro, it costs like $6 round trip. Imagine going like let's just say like 15 miles, right? Back and forth. So how much would that be? Like $50 maybe here in LA or to it though. It's gonna be crazy hot. So
Yeah.
but yeah, man, you come through. There'll definitely be a lot to do. All right, so here
Yeah, sounds exciting.
let me map this thing out. So yeah, we're 6 miles away. So it takes
Oh,
driving. It says 19 minutes. So
so can we say that
imagine
Joe
just the
Biden is going to be
two
like your
down.
neighbor now? Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
Close
We'll
enough.
probably
Yeah.
we'll run into their motorcade. Yeah, but interesting enough, Melissa met with Joe Biden the other day. Not
What?
technically, like she technically
Yeah,
met
yeah,
her and took a
yeah.
picture, just because of her, government, her
That is.
CIA, job status,
Mhm.
gets her access to, interesting people. So she had to connect with a colleague. So yeah, so
What
we
would you
might
have
be
done?
close. What do you mean?
Like,
Like,
would you actually like? Would you be like, a little nervous to meet the president, or how would you be?
I'll be a little nervous, of course, but I mean, you imagine meeting the president. That'd
I
be
feel like she would
awesome.
be cool as a cucumber, knowing her. Like, how was
Yeah.
she when she met him?
Yeah. No, she said it was fine. It was a bunch of it was just her. It was I
Okay,
think
cool.
she was here for so I was in the parking lot waiting for her because you have to like drive in and it's like a
Mhm,
secured area. You just see like the motorcade. So there's like 20, I don't know, like 20 dudes on motorcycles, six, SUV trucks. You don't know which one she's on, right? It's
mhm,
crazy. And then they roll in and then they call her in.
mhm.
And I
Oh,
think we
she was
waited
in the
long.
motorcade with
No,
him.
no, so,
Oh, like,
no. So Melissa, we had to drive to the look,
oh yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then they let you in. You have to have access, and then she was meeting a bunch of people. I think it was some sort of event. And then they call her colleague that invited her there, called her in. She walks in quickly, and then it basically is a bunch of people just, meet and greets. You take a picture, you say, shake hands with them, say hello, a couple words, and you're out of there. So,
Yeah,
um, but anyways,
crazy.
that's cool, right? Who could say they've met, like the first lady?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. That's really really cool. Well, congrats to her again. Really proud of her for everything, and proud of you for the big move, and excited for your next chapter in life. Um,
absolutely, man.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean, if things happen and you end up becoming a DC fan, I won't be mad at you. We can cover it from from both sides, but We'll see how that goes. Was Wayne Rooney in DC? No, right?
Was.
Got him bad. Was right.
Yeah, so he went to who is he? I think he's at Birmingham United or Birmingham in the championship in the Premier. I'm not sure if he's still the coach. I think maybe
I
he
think he
got
got
fired
sacked.
already. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyways, yeah, he played there and then he was the coach, right? For he was pretty good. Remember that half like half midfield like was it pass that he made or run? I remember like a couple of years ago when he was still playing for
Mhm.
United. So yeah, MLS legend.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Well,
but
speaking of
anyways,
MLS
yeah.
legends, let's perfect segue to our LA Galaxy. Last time we talked, I think we had a little. I don't want to talk about it too much, but we had a Tráfico coming up, and then we had a few run of games that were set to be kind of tough. So, you know, looking back at it and kind of what our recent run of form is. I mean, what do you think we're at? Where do you think we're at as a team? And I the other thing is too, what do you credit a lot of that dip in form recently from the LA Galaxy? If you see, we got two recent ties and a loss to LA Galaxy. I mean LAFC. What do you think is a main contributing factor to that?
There's a couple of things, I guess. First of all, they're bound to like dip in form. I think they started off, they were in first place right off the bat, right? Rattled off quite
Mhm.
a couple of victories, some draws in there, right? And playing, they were playing great, but like you said, since the LAFC game, they had was a loss, right? They picked up a couple wins after that, and then recently a loss, and then a string of draws, right? So I think it's a mix of I guess like I said, dip of form. They're bound to happen eventually. Injuries I think have played a factor too, and I guess it's just from this early part of the season. The Western Conference is really strong. So, like
Right.
for example, if you look at the standings, even though with this big dip in form, Galaxy are tied for second right now, but they're in fifth place, but tied on points with four other teams. Real Salt Lake are been playing great so far, but Galaxy is right in the mix, I think. And once they kind of gain, so get a little healthier again, get some of these
Mhm.
guys back, pick up a form, get some luck, I guess, in some of these games. But overall, I think they look great. I think the major part has been the offseason pickups. Obviously, Hanso Pack, I think, bring like a different dimension to the team. The midfield, Puig is again the MVP, playing MVP level for them. So yeah, I'm optimistic. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like it's a couple of different things too. The set piece defense has not been there, but if you really want to think about it, there could be other things in there too, like the lack of creativity recently from our DPS. And a lot of it has to be with injuries and suspensions and stuff like that. We didn't have a full squad every single game like we did the first few games, but the lack of dynamic plays, not enough goals again. I mean, before we were scoring 3 or 4 goals a game, and now it's like one, two, maybe if we're lucky. So the lack of creativity, the lack of that speed. But again, we've seen it. So I'm optimistic that it's gonna come back and it's gonna be there. Eventually, I'd never expected the Galaxy to be like, a number one place team or the best, but yeah, I'm optimistic as well. The main thing for me that I'm pointing out is the lack of depth now, because we're seeing, and I'm mainly at the striker position, I feel, because the games that Jovic isn't there and 100%, you're seeing that there's really not a lot of offense, or things are moving, clicking as much. Jovic last game had a goal, right? So we had a tie. So before that, when he's not playing, there's really no offense. So I think that has to change, either with another quality backup striker, or having to put Paintsel or Peck in that striker position at this point, because Miguel Berry for me is he did score a goal, but I don't think he's going to be that number two
No, he's not
caliber.
there. Yeah, I agree. He's not a he's more of like a depth player, right? Maybe
Maybe third.
you
Yeah.
know, third string. But yeah, you're right. Just looking at their numbers, Jovic has 7 goals, and I think he's been playing, fantastic so far. And then you have Panso and Gabriel Peck with 7 goals each, 6 assists between them. And then from there, there's really no production. You have Puig with 3 goals, 5 assists so far this year. So it's either you move him up. Obviously, he plays higher up the field, right? So he's a real creative, attacking midfielder role. But yeah, you're right. I think they need to pick up another. I guess, in my opinion, probably another striker to compete with Jovic. And I guess not to get into the transfer rumors and all that, but the European season is wrapping up soon. Sir Antoine Griezmann might be available.
Yeah.
So that could be a nice summer pickup for them. I know I've been hearing rumors that being an option. He definitely wants to play in LA, and hopefully not for who, but
Yeah, they already
uh,
got their sole striker. They
mhm.
got Olivia Giroud, which I mean, let's unpack that real quick if you want. I mean, what do you think about Olivia Giroud? Because
I
you
mean,
follow
yeah,
European soccer, right?
yeah. To be honest, it's a great pickup. I think he's like he. I mean, obviously his as he ages, right, his play has dropped off a bit, but he's one of those guys similar to Ibrahimovic, where they just get older. Their skill is still there. Maybe their pace has falling off a little bit, but I mean, he's a great pickup, especially for MLS. He's gonna at the level that he's at, he's just gonna feast on MLS defenses. But hopefully, to be honest, to me that I don't think that would have been the greatest of fit for LA Galaxy. I think Anton Griezmann is a mix of a great striker, a great like he could play off Jovic, he could play in more as a attacking midfielder. You could play him on the wing. So there's a lot more that you can do with them, and I think he'd probably be a better fit for the Galaxy. But hey, that the Giroud pickup is gonna be good for LAFC. But I wish they wouldn't have picked him up. But anyways, I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm
think?
not a fan. I'm not a fan of him. I feel like he's a lot slower. Maybe not ready for the MLS pace, but we'll see. I mean, the main thing about that move is the difference in styles. I think that the Galaxy have versus LAFC. Like you're seeing LAFC getting more of like the veteran old guys, right? And as a league, I think they're trying to shift from that and going to more of like the younger, like prospect like Almeida, like finding those next young up and coming prospects. So the league is kind of shifting, but LAFC is kind of stuck in the past, which is for me it's good because they're gonna keep getting these H stars that they're relying on them and stuff like that. So whatever, they do what they're gonna do, but as long as we keep doing what we got to do, that's all that really matters. But hopefully, like you said, Griezmann, that would be a huge pickup because of that wing play and more of a forward attacking play. And he's really in his prime. Griezmann would be in his prime coming in, not prime, but
He's
he still has a
still
leg
kind
on
of
him.
he's closer to his prime than to the back end of his career, I think. But yeah, I agree. LAFC is kind of has the more of the star. Their strategy is to kind of get the proven veteran star player, right? So again, that doesn't fit to what the Galaxy's strategy is, right? They're trying to go
Mm.
young, players with potential, right, that they can grow. But hey, you could always have fun, talking, transfer rumors. There are going to be a lot of them. I know. I don't know if you're familiar with Marco Royce from Dortmund. He's going to be a free
Hmm.
agent as well. So rumors are going to be flying. There's not every MLS team could afford him, right? So there's only going to be a couple spots for him. So mainly in LA, maybe in New York, who knows? But again, it'll be interesting to know. I definitely, again, I think they need to pick up another playmaker, either a winger that could play, multiple roles, or another striker to compete with Jovic. I think as the season goes on, they're going to need that depth.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to need that depth, especially when these games come in hot and heavy. Like they're going to, come the summertime, come the thick of summer when you got these competitions coming in. So we'll see how that shapes up. I think that definitely there is some need there for the striker position for us to kind of replace Jovic, honestly, with that. So we'll see how that shapes up.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, is there anything else you want to add on LA Galaxy? I know we talked a little bit about their recent run of form, kind of how they're dipping, and hopefully they can switch this around here with the upcoming game this Saturday that they got coming up. Right. Uh, Again, this
Yeah.
Saturday is going to
Yeah.
be an
Are
away game.
they? Is it a home game?
No, it's going to
Oh,
be an
okay.
away game. They're
Gotcha.
going to play at Charlotte.
Yeah.
Uh, so we'll see how that goes. With Charlotte. If you remember, I don't know if you remember, but the first ever home game for Charlotte was like 60,000 fans or something like that. They broke the MLS record at that time. And good old Efrain Alvarez with that curler to win the game. Do you remember
Yeah. I don't
Efrain
remember. Are
Alvarez?
they? Yes. Yeah.
He plays for Tijuana now.
Yeah. But
Interesting.
yeah, yeah, he's yeah, I was gonna say he's down in Tijuana, right? Yeah, we could probably use him right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he was a good like quality. I think he was a quality like roster guy, like not technically he could spot fill in for as a starter, but definitely good option off the bench. But yeah, I mean Charlotte's also top part of of their conference. Yeah, that crowd is crazy, right? They
Mhm.
don't. Yeah, I'm surprised they have so much support out there. But yeah, that's going to be a good game. Hopefully, Galaxy could, you know, pick up
Pull that
some
one out.
momentum back. I was going to add to the defense really needs to improve. I think we're the bottom three in goals against. So I think
Mhm.
again, hopefully we get Neil back, right? A healthy back line, but yeah, it definitely needs to improve. But
We have a new addition too.
yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
We have a new addition too at the center back position. I don't think we've talked about this one yet, but we got the new center back from Colombia. I forget his name.
Is he
Okay.
a really new? Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. Emiro Garceres. I can't believe I forgot that. And the part of the reason why I forgot that is because it's taking so long to get his visa. I think it's taken about like 3-4 weeks since they announced it for him to get his visa. So I know that process itself is it's its own thing, right? He has to go probably to embassies and stuff like that to get permission to be a
Hmm.
U.S. Citizen or get a visa. But he will be joining the squad here, I would say, within the next few weeks or the next 2 or 3 games. So we're anticipating Gosseres here to come in, um, soon to help out that defense.
Yeah, I mean,
One 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 big stat. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
he's he's a young player, right? Yeah, no, I was gonna say yeah, he's a young player. Maybe get some fresh legs in there. Maybe
And he's
get
tall
a
too.
promising prospect in there, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the downfall probably of the defense right now it's older in the center.
Yeah.
You have Yoshida and Casares, right, and kind of the we have some younger guys behind them, but some spotty performances, and then with injuries as well. So yeah, this should be a good pickup. Hopefully, they could integrate him pretty quickly here, right, next couple weeks.
Yeah. One stat I really liked about him was that he's the fastest defender in the Colombian league. So that says a lot about the guy. He's really fast. He's can take down. He's has the legs to take
Hmm.
down. These. Um, you know,
It's gonna have the recovery
uh,
speed, right,
there
to
we go. Yeah, for these
clean up a lot of messes.
strikers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and we might be looking at the future of the LA Galaxy center backs, right? You're looking at Neil, and you're looking at this new addition as the two main center backs for the future because they're both young. They're both going to be here until about 2026. So they're going to be here for a few years, both Neil and him. So we're looking at them to be our future. But yeah, the other thing too is that they add some height because on these set pieces that we keep giving up goals to, that it's the height. You got Ricky Puig in there. you got these little chaparritos that aren't going to be making these big jumps.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So
we have Julian Alde too in there throwing in the mix, so it'd be a nice,
yeah,
uh,
nice little
you know,
core.
core of center backs, and as we defenses once that hopefully that gels as the season goes on. I think the defense will be solid. I think the flanks are much improved this year, position. So yeah, I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and if they make a couple key additions, that'll definitely be a plus. But yeah, but looking forward to it. Should be a fun season. I think this time last year we are kind of on suicide watch for a year ago today, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot better place this year. You're right, compared to last year. I mean, this year we're looking at a team that is, like you said, sitting second or third there in the table versus
Hmm.
last year, supporter group that wasn't even showing up to games. So I'm excited to see where things go from here. If things don't switch though, I feel like the blame has to start going a little bit to Greg Vanny because of the recent dip in form, the complicated structure sometimes. Like, I don't know, you see sometimes Paintsville in the midfield for some reason for portions of the game. And I personally, it scares me. I feels like he's over complicating things maybe to these
Hmm.
players. And like they not them not knowing what to do, and it kind of just makes things more complicated. And he's been known to do that in the past. So um,
Yeah, I
we'll
think
keep an eye on it.
yeah. No, that's a good point. I guess from my perspective, if they're able to tidy up the back, make it a little less leaky, and they're scoring, with the best of them, they're in the upper tier of on the scoring front. So again, if they could cut out some of the errors, get rid of some of these goals that they're letting in, I think I mean, they'd be even higher up the table, right? But again, I would I think I'm optimistic in terms of there's room for improvement, and it's a long season, so we're in May. The season doesn't end till September, right? So there's plenty of time to kind of straighten things out.
Yeah. Speaking of that, reminds me of the EPL and plenty of time. So let's sprinkle that in here at the end. But again, LA Galaxy, we're definitely going to be watching them here the next few games, seeing how they're going to recover, bounce back from this recent dip of form. And like you said, once they add some key pieces here this summer too, so we'll keep an eye on that. But I know you've been keeping up a little bit more with Orange County Soccer Club than I have. I have been looking at the results and stuff like that, but what do you see from Orange County recently?
Similar to the Galaxy, so I think right now they sit third in the Western Conference, and that's with kind of a recent dip of a couple losses and a draw. But from last year that we saw, a lot more kind of well-rounded performances right from the off, especially on the offensive side, a lot tidier at the back. Even this year, they have a couple of losses, a couple draws sprinkled in there, but they're not letting in the goals as well. So I think once the offense picks it up, I think they're going to be in good shape. But I think they're in a good position now. It just, I think they just need to build again that momentum and kind of pick up a couple of positive results. But other than that, to be honest, I haven't kept as close a watch on them, but I do keep my eye on the scores. And yeah, their team is interesting. You know how they build, right? It's kind of based out of they bring in a lot of younger players, right? They sprinkle in a few veterans, but it's an exciting team to watch. And the coach, I think, does a great job tactically setting up that team. So yeah, it should be good. It should be a good season again. And then yeah, and they always seem to pick up interesting players that kind of usually perform well during the season.
Yeah, they have a knack of finding good players that have some potential. Like Cameron Dunbar from the LA Galaxy that didn't have much space is now in the squad, is now scoring goals for Orange County. And I really appreciate how, honestly, Orange County Soccer Club is a launch pad for these kids to go to Europe. We've seen it a lot already that
Hmm.
they're going to Europe from from Orange County Soccer Club. They're not going from MLS LA Galaxy. They're going from Orange County, little division team, which really gets me excited to talk about what I wanted to talk about this segment was the USL. Really uh, standing firm and introducing relegation here in the coming years to soccer, to US soccer. That's going to be so exciting, man, to see relegation battles here pretty soon in Orange County. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think yeah, I think it's a little. I guess for me, it's two side. I'm excited for it. It's not. It's something that we're incorporating from the European model. It's exciting for sure, right? Not exciting for some teams, right? Depending on where in the table you are. But no, I think it'll be exciting to see. There's going to be an incentive for teams that do well, right, to go win the league or finish in the top spots, right, with an opportunity to move up divisions, right? And I think that'll be good. It'll be exciting for the fans. It's not something, I guess, I'm not sure how everybody's going to take it, just because it's not a culturally in American sports. That's not it's how it works, right? There's franchises, right? There's teams, regardless of their performances, they will stay in a particular league, right? That's how you kind of build, I think, some of the the loyalty and the fan bases, right? But no, I think it's exciting, at least for the lower divisions. There's going to be a way to progress up the ladder, and I personally like it. For example, the English leagues, right? They have promotion and relegation, and it's really exciting. So
It should make for
I
more exciting soccer, I think, for the lower
yeah,
divisions
yeah,
because
I
they're going
think
to
it
be
would
fighting
even
for relegation.
yeah, yeah, or fighting for the top spots, right? Obviously, there's not going to be any promotion to the MLS, but maybe again, this is a pilot to see how that's going to work, right, in the lower divisions, and if it works out, I think it'd be good to implement into MLS. But I highly doubt that, just because of the cost of the franchises and kind of what they invest. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works out.
I feel
So
like this would open the door for MLS to purchase USL. Especially if that model goes really well and they're doing well, then they're knocking on the door to MLS and the top pro league here. And I don't like that it's fractured right now, that you have two separate leagues, right? It should be all one, like it is in the EPL, right? It's all kind of one under one pyramid, and right now
mhm.
it's separated. But so I'm excited to see how that changes. I really believe that if the USL's model of relegation, well, not USL's model, but the model of relegation works, if it works here in the US, it's going to knock on the door for MLS. And I feel like you're right with the franchise and the way it works here. The only way it will work is if they purchase these smaller division teams or the rights of them, or something like that, to be able to get into the league. But we'll see how that shapes up moving
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. Again, like I said, it's interesting. It's hard to see relegation from MLS just because of the cost of a franchise, right? As you've seen,
Like
last
Cornell.
couple of years, right? Yeah, so it's hard to, unless they build some sort of like the English league. They have a package that's like a recovery package that's given to teams that get relegated, right? Or teams that get promoted, right? They have a windfall, purse winning, right, to be able to, compete at the Premier League level. But yeah,
Mm.
like I think it'll be exciting for sure. But I guess we'll see how it translates over the next couple of years.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We'll keep an eye on that for sure here moving forward. Anything else you want to add on Orange County Soccer Club?
No, no, I think that covers it. And I guess we could maybe dive into the Prem, and how it's winding down. It's been, I think, last time we talked. Remember, I think last time we talked. So full disclosure, right? A Man City fan, and just to clarify, before they, billionaire bought them, but anyway, so we're coming up to the last game of the season. Man City Spurs, which is always their, like, the boogeyman, basically. So they won at Spurs. So this last game coming up, this is going to be again. Man City seem to be in these all. It seems like almost every year now, where it's like down to the last game of the season. They need a win, right? So yeah, they're going to be playing West Ham, so they need a win. If they win, they're prem champions. If they lose, and Arsenal win, Arsenal are champions. So it's you got to get the W. So it's going to be
Yeah, I
exciting. I'm
hate
definitely going to
Arsenal.
be watching it. I haven't.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say, full disclosure too, you're a Spurs fan, so I get it. And I
Yeah.
kind of appreciate the hate for Arsenal is so much more than you guys kind of allowing Man City, or I guess going full force and trying to beat City. So I kind of
Hmm.
applaud Spurs for the hate for Arsenal being that big, that they kind of went out there and didn't really want to give Arsenal the league,
Yeah, yeah.
because they would have never lived it down. They could have fired the coach, to be honest, after that game, if that happened,
Yeah,
if Spurs beat Man City the other day. So hats off to you guys.
yeah. I feel like that was a must lose in some way, because we don't want Arsenal being on top. So it's really weird how the EPL and how that specifically that is shaped up. But Spurs being Spurs again this year, I think that they are well deserved in that fifth spot. They do. So I'm sorry, shifting gears, talking about my Spurs real quick. I think they do deserve that fifth spot, but congrats to your Man City and what they've done this year. And unfortunately, they're not on track for a treble again. But I don't think you even anticipated that yourself. I mean, a quadruple. Looks like me and FIFA.
Four prems in a row.
Right, right, right,
First
right.
first time that's gonna happen. So
Yeah, and a
I'm not gonna
quadruple last
jinx it.
year.
Yeah, West Ham is not a pushover, but I feel like we're gonna run through them.
Yeah, and that really shows a lot too about soccer as a whole. When you have this deep squad, you can really compete at the top when it comes down to it. So you got teams like Arsenal and Man City that have deep squads, and it shows. Like a team that doesn't have a deep squad, like Spurs, it shows the difference of how that shapes up at the end of
Yeah,
the
and
year.
I would like to kind of discredit this whole narrative about Man City having unlimited money. Like, for
Because of financial
example,
fair play.
right, but they're not the biggest investors in terms of players. Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United are up there. I think Man United over like a 6-year period have spent a lot more money than Man City. I think what you have at Man City is like a very well structured organization from top to bottom. Yes, they did invest a lot of money, 10, 12 years ago, right? But they put in a structure. They put in, winners, people that have like accomplished quite a bit in soccer, right? In critical roles to lead the organization. And yeah, now they just have like they've built over 10 years of a winning culture. So I feel like that also kind of breeds, so they kind of have the pedigree now, and then they invest like wisely. And then obviously, like, Pep Guardiola is, I don't know what you can call him, maybe the greatest of all time managers, even though you could say that he always has the better squads, but he utilizes his players so well. Like, I I've I personally feel if you put in Ten Hag, or who's the Arteta in Man City, they probably don't get the same like results that Pep does. And then he integrates all these. He's good at integrating these young players, right? You got Foden, that's a world beater now, and then you have like these other kind of up and coming guys that he plugs in, right? That somehow they get results. But anyways, off my high horse defending Man City and the 115 what is it, 115, what do you call them, actions, I guess, on them, or that everybody seems to gripe about in Twitter every day when Man City win and win another championship. So yeah, this should be good. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if Pep Guardiola is going to stick around, but I hope he does, and
Yeah, we got those
builds on this
sanctions
thing.
coming in too. The sanctions and the results of of that coming soon, the financial fair play investigation on Manchester City. But I forgot about that. Honestly, that's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because I did forget that that's coming up soon. But we'll see what happens, how the EPL shapes up here in the next few weeks, because we're
Hmm.
wrapping that up, like you said, and hopefully that all ties in, right? You know, that window closing and LA Galaxy and stuff like that. I hope we get some European guys in here, some big stars, because we need them at this point,
Yeah.
even as a backup piece. But we need them. Anything else you want to add on the EPL?
Yeah, I guess the Champions League final is coming up soon.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. We got Borussia
Dortmund
Dortmund.
versus Real Madrid.
Mhm.
So David versus Goliath. So obviously, I'm going to root for Dortmund. They're kind of they've always been my second team for me. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Real Madrid is super favorites, but I have a feeling Dortmund could pull it off. But
Yeah, I hope
again,
so. They deserve it.
they are the Spurs of, not to throw, jab at Spurs, but they kind of are the Spurs of Germany. So let's hope they could, they could get, the Champions League. That'd be huge.
Yeah, they deserve it, especially after last year. You're seeing really good young players too on that team, and what a stick in the face Sancho can do to Man United,
Mhm.
if if he wins that UCL.
Yeah, and
You
then
know,
get Marco Reus, the Dortmund legend. He walks
yeah,
off,
he walks
final game
off.
of his career with Dortmund, Champions League winner. The only major trophy that he would win. But
Would have
hey,
win. It's the
yeah,
best trophy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Forget the
for him.
Bundesliga. I don't care about that freaking dish trophy. Get the Champions League. That be the ultimate one.
Yeah,
Yeah, ultimate
we'll be
middle
looking
finger
out for
to
that.
Bayern.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll be looking at that and how that shapes up. An all-time lifer for Dortmund, definitely deserves that. But
And
yeah,
one last one. I want to throw
mhm.
one last joke at you. Harry Kane. How about Harry Kane showing up to Bayern, and this is the first winless year for Bayern in 13 years. What
That's
are your
great.
thoughts?
That's great. All the goals he scored didn't mean
He
shit.
scored 100 goals in the Bundesliga and didn't mean anything.
Yeah, that is
That just
great.
that is insane, right? So,
Yeah,
anyways, but that
he
that was it, man.
spurs. He spurs
Yeah.
through and through.
Yeah, he scored like close to 40 goals, and they still lost by like, I don't know, like 12 points off the lead. So, anyways, man, congrats to Bayern Leverkusen, by the way.
Oh
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome season,
and it's not over yet.
unbeaten season so far, and they might do a triple.
A triple.
They've won the league already. Have they won the German Cup yet? I
No,
think
that's
they're going to
they're
play
about
for
to.
the at the final, right? And then they have the Europa League final coming up. So
They play in the
yeah,
German Cup this the 25th, and then they got. Isn't it a European competition too?
the Europa League. So the one below the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
that's right.
but
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I know he might be on the move too. Xabi Alonso might be on the move. He's a big Mexican soccer fan. What?
oh
Like
really? Is Javier Alonso?
Puebla?
Yeah,
Yeah, he likes
he's
Puebla.
supposedly he's sticking around one more season, but I think after the next season, there's
Yeah,
no
he
way you cannot replicate this like basically unbeat season. It's been crazy. So they're probably going to end up losing a player or two, and then he's probably just going to leave. Yeah.
yeah, I think the next move here is gonna be to
Man
go
City,
to
right?
no. I mean Real Madrid. I'm thinking Real Madrid or it just
Yeah,
depends
that's a
how
good
he
one.
does next year. You know,
Yeah.
but
If
he's a
Pep
legend through and
Guardiola
through.
decides to walk off, I would love that. Continue the dynasty, or Ancelotti leaves, and I'm pretty sure he's going to leave soon. So that'd be perfect for him, I think.
Yeah, Ancelotti's gonna leave, and you know Real Madrid. I mean, Bellingham can wait. He can. Vinicius can wait. They can
But
get a
that team
UCL.
is going to be stacked.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine
There's kids. I mean,
Bellingham,
mhm.
Vinicius, Rodrigo, the whole midfield, Valverde. Who's the other the two French kids right in the middle?
Yeah, and then the defense. So they just got Davis on left back, the
Yeah,
Canadian
the
guy.
freaking walls at the back, Rudiger
Hmm.
and what's the other guy? Yeah, the Austrian guy. They've had him now for a couple, blanking out on his name, but yeah, solid team. Yeah, and then Mbappe, of course, up top after that.
And the slap in the face of the last minute change for the last game. Couture is going to be the the goalkeeper. What a slap in the face to Lunin, man.
Oh, I
That's
know
crazy.
that's kind of that's very disrespectful, but hopefully that's karma,
They
and he
lose.
he
Yeah.
loses. Yeah,
Yeah.
but to be honest, he's a beast. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of he's probably one of the best goalkeepers. But anyways, just not to get too carried away with what's coming up, but it's going to be an exciting to the season. So for
Yeah.
the European seasons.
That's right. So we talked a lot today. We had a long episode. We talked about the LA Galaxy. We talked a little bit about the Orange County Soccer Club and now European soccer. It's been fun. I am looking forward to the future here with you, Chris, and this podcast and seeing how that shapes up as we now go cross country, right?
Hmm.
We're going to be broadcasting from coast to coast. So looking forward to that and keeping the coverage going. Anything else you want to add to the podcast?
Oh, I think you covered it. Yeah, it's a fun chat today. A lot of covered a lot of soccer. Yeah, I guess next time we tune in, I'm going to be or we get back together. I'm going to be in DC. So yeah, excited to incorporate hopefully DC United into our discussions for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to check out a game or something when I head down to DC to visit.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget to like and follow us on our social medias. We're gonna have our social medias down in the description below. Thank you again for following us and listening to the podcast.
All right. All right. Till
Thank you
next time.
guys. Till next time.